So you finally had the life that you want. You finally learn how to regulate. You got this relationship that you've always hoped for. And then all of a sudden, you have a setback. You go off on your girl. You hit adversity with your job, and you think it's the end of the world. My name is Marcus Williams, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor. And this is something that I see every day. Clients that make progress, and when they have a setback, they start to believe that they're not good enough or they're not worthy of the progress that they've made. You are worthy, but if you're growing naturally, you are going to have resistance. Growth requires resistance. Growth is not a passive process. It is an active process that all of us must engage in. So when you think that you are not good enough because you have a setback, that is likely because somebody in your past told you that you're only good when you are doing what's expected of you. But true character is really built when you're doing things that aren't expected or when things aren't going the way that you want them to go. I want you to think of your mind as the hype man, right? The hype man is on stage hyping you up. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to rock this show. And everybody's hyped up and everybody loves the hype man. But what if the hype man is still in the streets? So the hype man, the crowd getting rowdy and somebody's trying to, get you to sign an autograph, and your hype man just bam, just swings on a person, right? Because they think they're doing their job. So if you think about your nervous system, it does the same thing. If your nervous system has been designed to believe that you're not good enough, and when you face rejection, it's the end of the world, naturally your mind is going to try to protect you, which is a good thing in most situations. But we don't live in those times anymore. Most situations that we engage in is not a life or death situation. Most things we can walk away from, have an opportunity to regulate our emotions, and it doesn't have to be handled in that moment. So when you have a setback, when you've learned how to regulate your emotions, when you've learned how to talk to your girl right, when you finally have that relationship with your kids, we got to look at how you're going to respond. And so what you got to train your hype man or your mind to do is be like, bro, we had a setback, but it's all right. If you think about the hype man in another sense as that boxer, right? And you have somebody in your corner, and the guy that's in your corner telling you, hey, boom, watch this, what you're doing wrong. Not only is he the hype man, but he's your coach and he's helping you regulate your emotions. So instead of your hype man being the rapper from the streets, just sitting there yelling with his pants hanging off his butt, I want you to think of your hype man. We're going to train your hype man to keep you regulated and to show you what danger is, but also show you how to counter it. Another example I have at my house, we had this smoke detector. And every time we open up the oven, whether it's food that could be burning or just steam coming up, my smoke detector goes off. It is annoying as heck. On one hand, the smoke detector is doing its job. It's saying, okay, there is danger in here. Be careful. On the other hand, it's malfunctioning because it's being triggered too much. So what do I do in that situation? Because I've been in that situation so many times, I know how to control the smoke detector. I can just fan it and it goes away. Or I'm at the point to where I tell myself, hey, you know what? This smoke detector doesn't work for me. I'm going to unhook it. I'm going to use another smoke detector that works for me. So it doesn't have to be easily triggered, easily set off. Because I know how to regulate and because I'm cognizant of what's going on in front of me, I don't have to rely on it because I know what's going on. I want you to think of your mind as the same thing. Your mind is supposed to protect you. It's supposed to protect you from threats. But when you've been in certain situations enough times, you should be able to regulate your emotions, and you will if you get the help and the resources that you want. So one thing I work with my clients on is not being in survival mode anymore. Survival mode is you have to react to everything. Oh, I'm going to die. Most situations that you are faced with now is not life or death. So you do not have to live looking over your shoulders. When you learn how to regulate, when you learn and you're able to examine your past and understand, hey, you know what? I don't have to live like that anymore. I can live the good life. I can be relaxed. You start living a fulfilled life when you're in an environment where you feel safe. So your nervous system, it is there to protect you. But once you transition to another lifestyle and you have a different set of beliefs, that old way has to go away. That old hype man, you have to say, hey man, listen man, it's been a good journey, but I'm gonna have to let you go. There's a better way for me to go about handling my business. That smoke detector, hey, smoke detector, I loved it and I loved the way it would react really fast, but it just adds extra stress to my life, so I have to let it go. Your body is being controlled by your mind, but you have to control your mind. It's not easy, but I definitely think that you can do it with the right resources. Like I said, I'm a therapist, so naturally I think therapy is beneficial, but you just being cognizant of what's going on in your body is just as beneficial as talking to a therapist. When you learn how to regulate, you become dependent on yourself and you understand yourself a lot more than anybody can. But what steps are you gonna take to learn your body? How much time are you gonna invest into working on those things? If it's not therapy, maybe you read some books. Maybe you get a part of a support group that can help you learn how to listen and how to understand your body. And so ultimately, there's 3 steps that I need you to take away from this video. Number 1, regulate before you respond. Take a second, breathe, and control your hype man. Number 2, when you're talking about making progress, acknowledge the progress that you've made even when you've had a setback. I want you to be able to identify that if you've made progress, that's how you're able to acknowledge the setback. Now you're more cognizant of what's going on. And last but not least, a win is a win. Take your wins. Take them. Appreciate them, because your wins are what makes you feel good about the losses that you will occur. So the 3 steps that you need to take is, number 1, regulate your emotions. Learn how to take a step back, take a deep breath before you respond. Remember, the hype man and that smoke detector are there to protect you, but ultimately you have to use your senses to understand what's going on. Number 2, progress is great. You have got to acknowledge your progress, or nobody else will. If you don't believe in the progress that you're making, there is no amount of words that a therapist, a friend, a family member can put in you to acknowledge. And last but not least, when you make progress, expect a setback. Growth requires resistance. Growth requires setbacks. That's how you know you're pushing yourself. If you're growing and you're not facing any resistance, you're likely not pushing yourself to the extreme. Take care. Peace.